The engine beneath me growled like a wild animal, my heartbeat synced with its roar. The smell of burning rubber mixed with the electric energy of the crowd. This wasn't just any car race. It was the international race, the one that only the best drivers from across 20 nations were qualified to compete in. I had already won it twice. And this year, I was ready for my third. But that day, destiny had a different plan for me. As I gripped the steering wheel tightly, my eyes locked on the track ahead. I could hear the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The cars shot forward like missiles, cutting through the air at breakneck speed. Around me, racers from all over the world pushed their limits. But I knew this track, every turn, every bump. I surged ahead, focused on nothing but victory. Until she appeared. A bright blue car sped up beside mine, driven by a young woman. Her name echoed through the arena, Diana, from the Philippines. She was new to the international scene but had already made headlines with her bold driving and undeniable skill. But it wasn't just her driving that stunned people. It was her presence, fierce, confident, graceful. And somehow, in the chaos of roaring engines and screeching tires, she had managed to steal my attention, and maybe even a piece of my heart. The crowd was on fire, the world watching breathlessly as Diana and I raced side by side, lap after lap. And then came the final lap. I was slightly ahead, victory just within reach. I could feel the win, almost taste it. My fingers tightened around the wheel. But then Diana made a bold move. She accelerated, trying to overtake me on a dangerously tight curve. Her car tilted. Her back tire clipped the railing. And then, it happened. Her car spun violently out of control and smashed into the sidewall. The impact echoed across the stadium. Smoke rose. Her car was crushed. And I had a clear path to victory. The finish line was right there. If I just kept going, I would be the champion once again. But my heart said something else. I hit the brakes. I stopped the car. I jumped out and ran straight toward the wreckage. Diana! I shouted. She was slumped over the wheel, bleeding from her forehead. I yanked open the door and called for help, my voice shaking. Somebody help! She's hurt! The medics arrived quickly and pulled her from the wreckage. I rode with her in the ambulance to the hospital, her blood staining my hands. The race was over for me. But a new race had begun, a race to save her life. At the hospital, time moved slowly. Diana's injuries were severe, multiple fractures, a concussion, deep wounds. I stayed by her side every day. Sometimes she was unconscious, sometimes she whispered in pain. But I never left. Reporters asked me why I gave up the race. Wouldn't you rather have the trophy, they asked. But I didn't care about the trophy. I cared about her. Weeks passed. Diana slowly began to heal. When she could finally sit up, she turned to me and asked, "Why did you stop?" I smiled and said, "Because no trophy in the world is worth more than your life." Over time, we talked more. She told me about her life growing up in a small village in the Philippines, raised by her grandmother, fighting for every opportunity in a male-dominated sport. "I fought so hard to get here," she said, her eyes filling with tears. "And now I'm broken. Maybe I'll never race again." I gently took her hand. "Then I'll race for both of us. Until you're ready to take the wheel again." That's when our journey truly began. It took months of physical therapy, counseling, and relentless training. I built a new car just for her. I became her trainer, her friend, and eventually, something more. And then, one day, she said the words I'd been hoping for. "I want to race again." We trained harder than ever. Day and night. I saw her fear, but I also saw her fire. Exactly 1 year later, the same international race returned. But this time, I wasn't behind the wheel. I stood proudly in the pit crew, watching Diana take her place at the starting line. As the race began, my heart pounded louder than any engine. Diana raced with courage, grace, and speed. She wasn't just competing, she was telling the world she was back. And then, she crossed the finish line first. She had done it. The crowd erupted. Cameras flashed. And as Diana climbed the podium, holding the trophy high, she spoke into the mic. Last year, I lost a race and almost lost my life. But someone chose to stop and save me instead of chasing his own victory. Today, I stand here because of that choice. This win is for him and for everyone who believes that kindness is stronger than competition. That day, I didn't stand on the podium. But I had won something far greater than any medal, her trust, her love, and the honor of being part of a story the world would never forget. I had lost a race, but I had won a life. Sometimes, the greatest victories are the ones where you choose not to cross the finish line. Because real champions don't just win races. They save lives. They choose love. They change destinies. And that was the race that changed my life.